All right, guys, here we go. So we've got $5,000 starting bankroll almost. So let me just top this off. Perfect. Okay. So $5,000 starting bankroll. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do my own road to 100,000, starting with this 5K. Um, I, through a series of anomalies and admittedly my own errors, I lost my bankroll in the casino a little while ago. So I'm trying to just get back into, I think I've tweaked out some of the errors or worked out some of the errors. And I think what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be running, supposing this is a $10 minimum table, I'm going to be starting with minimum bet across on the inside, so 44 inside. But I'm also going to be playing the pass line mayhem because I think with several sevens in a row, I think that offsets and helps mitigate the damage up here with a couple sevens come out sevens. So we're going to start with that. Once we get up to maybe 500 or $1,000 in profit on this bankroll, we might throw in one of either the 4 or the 10 Fibonacci, but we'll see how that goes. And here we go. So we're going to start with our $10 pass, and then 44 inside working. Three. So add that +5, lost +5. And these are off, by the way, after the 3. So we're just doing after one roll of the dice, these will always come off. In the future, if I forget, we're going to play it live as is. So on that come out, these win here. And the reason for that is because sometimes in the casino, you forget. All right, so now these are back working again after the 7. 8. So that pays 14. We're going to have it pay 15 and drop a single and turn these off. 7 out. All right, so we lose the 20, come up to 25. These are back working. Point is off. 9. That again is 14. We'll drop 1 and back off. Looking for a 9. Beautiful. Look at that. 9, point made. 25 pays 25. Press it by a nickel. So we're back reset in that progression. Still off on the come out. 4. 7 out. So those are going to be working again. Lose the 30. Come back up with 35. 9. So again, the reason why I've transitioned from just doing the 6 and the 8 working on the come out to also including the 5 and the 9. It does get a little more expensive as you get deeper into the for obviously as you get deeper into the progression. But the benefit is these are likely to hit 5 times each. So these are 5 rolls of the dice as opposed to the 7, which is 6 rolls of the dice, right? So 10 to 6, you're just under 2 to 1 odds of making that. But then if you add in the other 8 over here, now you're at 18, 4 and 4 for each of these, 4 different combinations. So a total of 18 to 6. So that's 3 to 1. So just by having these two numbers covered, you're substantially increasing your odds. So here we go. 9 was the come out, and these bets are off. 5, 6, 5, 4, 9, point made. Beautiful. So that pays even money. We'll press that by 5. So we're now at 40 up there. Still off because the point is just made. It's to come out not after the 7. 3. I'm sorry. So 3, we lost the 40 here on the 3. So we'll come up to 45 because we're just coming off a win on that one there, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so 9, back out on the 9 here, and 7 out. So so 30, 45, so that goes to 90. Loss plus 5 is basically double. Now these are working. 3, loss again. 90 goes up to 180. And these are off now. Just doing one hit always. 3 again. So 180 goes to 360. So the way the pass line mayhem works is once we're up above the $100 level, we win on this at all, and we go back down to the minimum bet. 7, perfect. All right, so that pays even money. And now we reset. And these are working. Back down to baseline. 10. Turn these off. 4. 10. Point made. Even money. Press by 5. 9. Point is 9. Nothing happens. 9. Point is made. Even money. 15. Press by 5. Up to 20. 8. So I think that was the 9 twice made there. 6. 8. Point is made. So that's again 20. Press by 5. So we're up at 25 now. So now here, when we get to this point, we'll wait for 3 unique points to be made, and then we'll start playing the don't pass as well. 9. 6. 11. 7 out. All right, so lost the 25. Come back up to 30. Working here, off. And those are also cleared. 6. So that pays 14. And those are off. And we're looking for that 6. 7 out. Okay, so that goes up to 60. And the point is off. And we're working. 6 again. And we're off after we pay ourselves out here. 14. Replenish some of those whites here. Okay, here we go. And we're looking for that 6. 8. 8. 10. 4. 11. 11. 8. 9. 6. Beautiful. Point made. That pays even money. And we'll press by 5 because we're still not up at the $100 level yet. Still not working because we haven't 7'd out yet. 6, back up on the 6. We've got 65 up there right now. Oops. 8, 8, 11, 7 out. All right. So since we're just coming off of a win, a couple wins actually, we're only going to press this by 5. So we're coming back up with 50, 70 total. And now we're working here. Point is off. Fireball gets reset. Here we go. 11. So there we go. Just won that. Even money. All right. So, and we're going to go ahead and press that to 75. Getting close to the end of our progression here. And we are no longer working there. 10. 9. So that's the first 10 thrown. We'll go ahead and keep track of that. First 10 thrown. We'll wait for 3 10s or 3 4s to run the lay bets over there. 4. So that's one of each thrown. 3, 6, 4, second 4 thrown. 2, 5, 7 out. Reset statistics. Turn working. 75 goes to 80 because we're just coming off of a win. That point is off and these are working. And here we go. 6. So 6 pays 14. That's 25. Just change it out a little bit here. All right. These are no longer working, and we're looking for a 6. All we've got is the pass line working. 7 out. All right. So 80 goes to 160. See, with a smaller bankroll, like a $500 bankroll or something, this would be nerve-wracking. That's the second time it would get to a nerve-wracking spot, but because we do have a substantial, excuse me, substantial bankroll, it's fine. Working now after the 7. 9. So that pays 14. And these are off. And we're looking for a 9 to reset our statistic down here. 6, 3, 11, 5, 4, first 4 thrown, 11, 11, that's a third 11 thrown, 4, second 4 thrown, 6, 8, 11, 12, 9, there we go, that's the point. So there we go, got paid even money, and we'll reset that statistic, of course. Back down to table minimum of 10. And we're still working on that. The point was just made. We're still off there. Back to table minimum over there. 10. Point is now 10. 7 out. Okay. So working. Lost the $10. Press it. Press it by 5. We're up at 15. So we've already pressed it by 5 once on a loss. So if it goes to, again, it'll be double, 30, which is loss plus 5. So 7 out. We're working. Here we go. That's reset as well. 8. Perfect. So back out with 14. And these are off. We could be kind of pressing and adding to the bets, which maybe we'll do eventually here. We'll wait until we 7 out and we lose that first level. Then once we come back down, then we'll start to go, because we're kind of overdue for a double 7 at some point here in the near future, because we've hit We've only had a single come out 7 once so far. That's all we've had. So, all right, looking for that 8. 5, 6, 6, 5, 6. Wow, look at that. 11, 9, 3, 7 out. Perfect. Okay. So now that comes up to 30. And working. There we go. 4. Okay. Not the best for a pass line bet, but we'll take it. And now we're off here. I don't do the hedges anymore. The hedge to keep them working for longer. I just found it's not worth it. I get nuked way too often on my hedge. 8. 5. 10. First 10 thrown. 8. 7 out. So these are working. Just lost the 30, so that goes up to 60. Those are now working. Those are reset, and we're off. Here we go. Working. 4. Back up on the 4. Doesn't help us here. No problem. 4. Point made. So we get paid down here. Even money. And we'll go ahead and just add $5. Add a nickel to our bet there. So we're now at 65. Second 4 thrown. Still off in the middle of the field. 8. I mean in the 12. 4. There we go. There's the third 4 thrown. So I'm going to go ahead. It's a little bit more aggressive, and I understand that. But we're going to go ahead and play. Looking for that 7. Second 10 thrown. Or first 10 thrown, I'm sorry. 8. Beautiful. So point is made. And now that's the second time. See, that's when we get more than one. So we had just popped up a level because we had 1. And that win won everything we had lost plus 5, right? So now the second one, that's all straight profit. The second hit. So when you have consecutive wins on those pass line bet, on the pass line mayhem, that's when you really start to rack up the gravy. That's why it's good not to reset. You just reset once you get to 100, because if we get 2 or 3 more wins right now on this before, then we are golden. That's when we really start to rake it in here. So that 8 was made, so we've got 2 points in. And here we go. 10, second 10 thrown. 8. 9. So just quick commentary here. With even if we get a third 10 here, because we've already started the progression on the 4, we're not going to go yet on the third. Maybe after the 4th. It depends on how the roll is coming. But to start multiple progressions parallel that both have a very high upside swing possible in terms of cost, expense. Like there we go. So we just lost the 50, not a problem. Back up with 300. Eight. Looking for that 6. 11. 2. 10. Third 10 thrown. Again, we're not going to move on that yet. We don't want to get too expensive. 700. There we go. Well, so we could have, but you know what? A dollar missed is not a dollar lost. So 150 out there. I think the VIG on 300, if I'm not mistaken, it's $5 for every 100, so it's 15. So let me go ahead and pay that out on the lay itself. All right, so here we go. Come back down here. 7 out, so we did not get our point. These are reset. These are working. This is lost, so we come back up with 75 because that's lost plus 5. So we stand to make a nickel if we win this bet right here. And we're working. 7. So this is why I like doing this, because look, so we just made, okay, so we only made a nickel, granted. However, now we're going to press it by a nickel here, okay? We just lost this, so 44. But now we're going to come up to, so in order to make, if we, making the 44 back, we need to make 70 will give us 26 on that, right? So we need to, basically, it's going to be 220 inside. So 50, 60, 60, and 50. So each of these will pay out 70. So one hit will make us back plus 26 bucks. If we fail again, if there's another come out 7, that's not a problem. We'll just let the bet go, and we'll wait for the next shooter before we come up. 5, perfect. So 5, that pays 70. These are now off, and actually we can take them down, but 70 minus the 44, difference of 26. So that's a good recovery, which if you look at it, it's like $13 per roll, right? So that's not a bad, I'm going to go ahead and get set up again for this. Even though the bets are going to be off, we're going to get set up for the next roll here. Off. And this statistic is already reset. 5. So we're just looking for the 5. Everything else is off. 9. 7 out. All right. Now we had just won on this, which is how we pressed. So we're just going to come back up, loss plus 5. So now we're up at 85. These are now working. 7 out. All right. So these are gone again. All right. So now this actually pays out now. So, and we're going to add a nickel on the payout. We're going to come up with all right, and we're working on the come out. 5 again. There we go. So there's another $26 net. We'll just leave those guys up here for now. You know what? No, I'm going to take them down. When I referenced earlier having made mistakes in the casino, one was I forgot to reduce back down to my base, and so I was one level too high in the progression, and that screwed me over. So all right, now we're off, and we're looking for that 5 to make some good cash money down here. 8, 6, 5, beautiful. All right, so that's 3 and 3. And we're getting close to that $100 mark, but we're not there yet, so we're going to press by 5. And we know even if we lose at this level now, we're still just going to press by 5. So, because we're just coming off a win there. 8. So we do want to log that win right there. I don't remember if there was a point before it or not. 7 out. Okay, so this is lost. This is reset. This is working. So we're going to come up to 100 even. All right, so now we're in the territory that win or loss. We're going to reset this. Working here. Here we go. 2. Loss. So that just goes, we just lost and pressed by 5. So now this is basically, that's loss plus 5 is double. 2. Turn it off after a craps number. 7 out. So we're still on the come out. So that's 200 bucks. Worked out very nicely. So now we're back down to the baseline, $10. Now we're working on the come out. 5, beautiful. As if it was planned. And we're off. And 5's not a bad number to be on the pass line for. 6, 6, 6, 7 out. All right, so lose at 10, come back up at 15, and we're working here. 6. All right, so, and you know what? We said we'll start now we had 2 7 outs in a row. Excuse me. We had 2 double 7 come out 7s in a row. So now after I win each one, I think we're going to start pressing, and I think we won on the 5 that last round, so we're going to go ahead and come up to 15. And we're going to go from here. That way we can kind of start to steadily work these up. If we do lose at this level, though, no matter how high we get, we're not going to chase that. We're going to treat it like it's just 44 across, right? So now we're out of the $14 of profit that we made twice, we've put back in $12. So we're cutting into our winnings a little bit, but we're upping the potential on the back end. Here we go. 4, 8, 11, 9, 6. Perfect. Point made. Even money. Press by 5. 6. Back up on the 6. 8. 10. First 10 thrown, I think. 5. 6. Point made again. That's another 20 bucks. Press by 5, so we're at 25. 11 pays. Press by 5. So that was straight profit. See, we won 2 shots in a row there. Beautiful. 11. Look at that. All day we'll take that, huh? All right. 9. Point is 9. We were off. Looking for that 9. 5. 5 again. 6. 3. 10. I don't think a come out 7 was thrown because we would have the bets working. So we're still here. Okay. 5. That is the second 10 thrown. 6. 10. Third 10 thrown. So we're going to go after it. Lay on the 10. 7 out. Beautiful timing. All right. So that makes us 25. And I think it's minus $1 vig, I think. $50. Yeah, I think I'm overpaid. I think I'm supposed to just pay the vig on the winnings, so I think I overpaid double on that last lay. Well, whatever. All right, and we're working after the 7. Reset this. That loses, so we come up to here. So that's $40 here, and we're working on the come out. There, let's go. 7 out. All right. So remember, we're just treating this. Unfortunately, we lost that extra 12 bucks we put up there. We're just treating that. And that wins on the come out, though. That's another win. So, and we're going to press that by 5 as well. And we're still working on this come out here. 7 out again. All right, so that's twice we're beat up here. So we're going to leave it off for this shooter. And we know now that we were at 220. And before that, we had lost 44, even though it was a little more than that, but we'll say it's 44. So we're at 264 now in losses. So we want to make 300 more or less. So what we're going to end up doing, and I'll just get it set up now since it's top of mind, is we're going to do 125. Is that right? This is going to pay 175. So this is not quite, this is not enough. So we need to do 250 on the outsides and then $300 on the inside. 6 and 8. So this will pay 350, which will be really a nice recovery. But this pays out again. So we'll go ahead and pay that out now. And we're going to press it by 5 again. So it's going to go up to 50. So I do like this. I feel like this progression actually offsets this pretty nicely. But again, we're waiting for next time. We're not going to turn our bets on quite yet. They're off now, 5. And it's always disappointing when that happens, but it is what it is. 9. 4. First 4 thrown. 7 out. Okay, perfect. Lose the 50, come back up with 55 because we're just coming off a win, and now we're working. Reset that. Here we go. 5. There we go. All right, so that pays 250, pays 350. Right? Because that's 5 $50 increments, so 7 $50 increments is paid out, $50 units. All right, so that means that we've now made our 220, our 264 lost. We've made that back and quite a hefty sum. So it's appropriate, for the added stress of having this much money on the table. It's appropriate that you make an extra mint there. So the 5 is the point now, and we'll just leave this off for a moment, that button off for a minute. Let's wait till we get out of this roll before we reset. 8. 5 point made. Beautiful. So then that pays even money. Press by 5 up to 60 there. And that was just the 0.55, so we're still waiting. First 10 thrown. Point is now 10. 3. 9. 8. 3. 10. Point made. Beautiful. Second 10 thrown. Press by 5. So we have multiple wins any row. Remember, those are very lucrative. All right, so I think we had made this 5 before that, I believe. Here we go. 8. Got a potential fire bet martingale coming up here. 5. 10. Third 10 thrown. We're going to go ahead and we're substantially up in profits. We're going to be a little bit more aggressive there. 9. We're going to lay against that right now, which means we owe $1 on the win. 9. 6. 8. Perfect. Point made. Again, that's straight profit too. So you can see where this pass line mayhem with relatively low risk actually has some very beautiful payouts, especially when you get consecutive pass line wins. So that's the third point. I still want to keep this rolling because I like it. And so I'm going to come up with the $10 don't pass bet. I'm going to put it up here because the money's over here for the bank. So there's my don't pass. I'm doing the martingale, the reverse fire bet martingale. So it's probably a little conservative going on the third point with only $10, but we got a lot of other money out on the table right now, so we're good with the conservative. 7. So this pays again. Beautiful. There we go. And again, pressed by a nickel, which means we're up to 75 here. Really lovely returns here, and we've already paid the vig on that, so we get another quarter there for the lay. And we lose the $10, so we'll come back with loss plus 5, 15. Now, if another point is made, then we'll go up to 50 because of how rare that is. There we go. We got a unique point too. That's perfect. Now, I should have been on the $10 here for the pass. I should have been reset, but I forgot. So we're just going to leave it. And I should have come up on the 7 at my minimum bet. So after the 7, the time before that. So too much going on. Here we go. Let's see if we can make this point, and then we'll get back out there. 4, first 4 thrown, 7 out. Okay, perfect. All right, so that's reset. Make our 15 bucks. Made $5 there. All right, and that's reset. And before we come out, let's go ahead and tally up. I think we're several $100s up in profit here. What are we at? About a half hour of play. So let's see. First, let's reset to our 5K. If you guys put together a rack, you'll see that 5K is $3,000 chips, and then a full stack minus 4. So in other words, 13 black. So for a total of 16 chips here. Full stack of green, full stack of red minus 4, and then the whites to fill up here. So we're going to need another 5 whites to fill that up. Okay. All right, perfect. All right, so that's our 5,000. So we're up. Those are stacks of 400. So that's 800, 900, 75, 85, 90. 990. Not too shabby. So 990. Let's get to 1,000. And actually, just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to pull most everything out of here for now. See how that works. Oh, there goes that. I got to get these out here. All right, and we are working on the come out. And we're back to minimum bet over here on the pass line, $10. Working. 7 out. Okay. No sweat. Pays a here. Press by 5, so we're up to 15 there. And now we're going to come in with and we're working. Oops, sorry, working I said. Here we go, 70. Just as it should be. Again, that's $26 net profit. We're going to turn that off. And let's see if we can't make this point before we tap out here. 3, 10, first 10 thrown. 9, 9, 9, 6, beautiful. Point made. 15 buckaroos. Press by 5. Four. First 4 thrown. 7 out. All right. So now we're not just working here. That's reset. That's reset. Lost the 15, so we're going to press by 20. We're going to press by 5, make it 25. These guys, remember, we got to remember to reduce down. Back up to 44 inside, and we're working. 7 out. Okay. Love it when that happens. Now, we win the 25 here, so we'll press by 5, and then we're going to come back up with our 50, 60 inside. And we're still working. 11. These are off. This pays. 30. Press by 5. It's another win here. Love it. And we're off on the come out. 9. There's 2 9s in a row. That 9 has been hitting bananas. There we go. So we're going to press by 5 again. The point was just made, so we're coming out. 3. Lost that on the come out, so we're back up with, what do we lose there? So back up with 45. Now we're coming up with a loss, so if we lose this bet again, we're going to be doubling. Still on the come out, still off. 6. 7 out. All right, so working here. This is lost. This is reset. So, like I said, we're going to be doubling. So we're going to come up to, what is that? 45. So 90. So 3 and 3. And we're working on that come out. Here we go. Trying to get our progression here reset. That's primary concern. 10. It's not going to be this time. Here we go. Off. 8. Just looking for that 10. That was the first 10 thrown. 6. 7 out. Okay, so off that 90, that comes up to 180. Okay, and this is off, and these are working again on the come out after the 7. Here we go. 3. That's a loss up here. So we go from the 180 now to 2, 360, I believe. 360. This is now off because we'll only play for 1 roll after. Now this feels hairy for a second, but when you realize how deep of a bankroll we have, and just with 3 losses on the 10, if we're laying, we're already up at $1,000 bet. So this 300, we've lost 3 or 4 times in a row. That $300 bet is not that bad. So here we go, 12, and I think the 12 is it's push here and lost here, so we lose that again. So now we're up to, so 650, 660, or 360 goes to 700 because we're just doubling. So I'm gonna swap that out for 2 purple here, and that's 720. We'll just make it, no, 720. All right. All right, here we go. Still coming out. 8. 9. 10. First 10 thrown, I think, because, no, second 10. We haven't hit a 7 yet. 4. First 4. 6. 8. Beautiful. Hit that point. All right. So that means that we now are going to get paid. I'm going to take some blacks back. No. We got this purple here. I'm going to match it even for even. All right. So now we get to reset that progression. Again, the hardest part in, again, I think this is why Charlie's always saying you got to practice, practice, practice. Because this is going to, that bet right there would be extremely intimidating. and scary if you hadn't thought through, if you're playing live and you hadn't thought through the fact that you've got another 4 grand behind you. You're already up in profit. We were already up in profit that amount. So we were still only betting our profit there, right? So it's a lot more intimidating putting that much money out if you're not prepared for it and haven't already thought through all the processes. So, all right, so we're still coming out. We just hit the 8. So we're coming out again, and we're back to our $10 pass line here. 10. That's the third 10 thrown. Now that this is reset, I feel comfortable laying against that. I wasn't going to if we hadn't reset that because that's just too much money out on the table. But I'm comfortable with that. So it's also the second point after a substantial roll here. So 8, 8, 8 again. 12, 3, 10. All right, so we're coming up with 300 now. And I think that's a $7. I double paid the VIG last time on my $300 lay, so I'm just going to roll that forward. 10, okay, here we go. And that was point made, so actually we made $10 on that. Seven out. Beautiful. So that's actually perfect. Look at that. So we make $150 on the lay. The point was off, so that's technically a come out roll. Not technically, it is a come out roll. So that pays even money. We'll press that by 5. And now we're working here. We get a chance to reset these again. So this is perfect. Lovely scenario. And that stays out. And actually, so does that. So we're 2 points deep. Here we go. 6. So perfect. That gets us our reset that we wanted on the numbers up here. We'll turn those off because we're going to come back down in a minute. Actually, let me come back down on those right now because I have those winnings. It works out perfectly. Okay. There we go. 6 again. Point made. So that's the third fire bet made. So we're going to go add to. So we just get paid first on this. Perfect. Press it by 5. So we're at a quarter up here. Lock the rest up. But we're also going to go ahead and do $10 on the DP. Five, another unique point established. 7 out. All right, so we lose that, go loss plus 5. These are going to be working. These are reset. And that pays even money. All right, so working on the come out. 7 out again. So there we go. That pays even money. No, I'm sorry, that's a loss as well. We had just gone loss plus 5 to get up there, if I'm not mistaken. No, that was win plus 5 because we just made a quarter. Yes, so loss plus 5. I could be wrong on that. No, that was 2 sevens in a row, so I am wrong on that. So it's actually up to, it was at, so we need it. We'll do this. Here we go. All right, so back up to our second level, and we're working on that come out. And this was loss plus 5, which is essentially double. So we're at $60 there. 8, perfect. All right, so that pays out the 70 for a net of $26 on those 2 rolls. We're going to turn those off. Cycle back down. Point is established as an 8, which is looking good for this. 8, beautiful. All right, so these are off, so that doesn't pay, but that pays. 60 bucks. So now we're going to press by 5. All right, sorry about that. Here we go. So that point was made. 6. Up on the 6. 7 out. Okay, so that's lost. So we got to come back up. We had just come off a win this time for sure. So now it's lost plus 5. And now we're working here. 11. Pays here. Okay. And that's plus 5, so we'll push to 75. Again, that's when it starts to get really lucrative, when you get a couple wins in a row like that. This comes off. I always turn it off after the first one. And the only reason for that is there's been a couple times when after an 11 or a 3 or a 12 or something like that, I leave it working for one more. And if you ever allow yourself that leniency, this is just for me. If I allow myself that leniency, then I'm tempted when I'm down to reach and leave them working more often than I would otherwise. And that's a problem. So it can be a problem pretty quickly and easily. So if you don't even allow yourself the option ever, then it's never a temptation. All right, so we're at $75 here, getting close to being able to reset the progression here. Looking for that 8. 7 out, not yet. All right, so I think we had just won and pressed. Yes, we did. So loss plus 5 is 80. These are now going to be working because that was a 7 out. This we're going to double then. The 80 is going to be 160 if we lose this bet. This here. 8. So that pays 14. 14. And that's off. Looking for that 8. 7 out. We're not going to get it this time. So that's going to go to 160. Perfect, which means we can now reset once we win this one here. And we're working on the come out. 6. Beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and collect that 14 again. And we're off. Looking for that 6. Boom. There we go. Point made. Pays us out. Beautiful. So we're going to reset. And I think since we're at the base level progression of all of everything right now, we're base here and we just got reset to base here. So I think we're going to go ahead and do a count, take everything down, even though it's not the end of the shooter, just made his point. Maybe I'll wait for the end of the shooter. Let's do that. So point was made. In case we can capture that fire bet martingale, but we're not going to do anything else. 4. First 4 thrown. 8. 9. 8. 5. 8. 6. 6. Big roll. 7 out. All right. There we go. So now we're reset, and we're going to tally up. All right, so full stack, minus 4, minus 4. That's our 5,000. So let's look at where we're at here. That's 1,000, 300, 25, 50, 65. 1,365 in just under an hour with explanations, etc. So there we go. We're going to take a little break and resume, but 1365 is a pretty good start.